All right. So last workshop, we discussed the first paradigm, which was time, and the idea that the past and the future are not real in physicalness. They're just real thoughts in our head. But the thing that actually exists in physicalness is the present moment. And we realize that if we access the present moment, access this physicalness reality, then we enter the most accurate representation of reality. So if we want to learn, which all our workshops are around the theme of the machine of life, if we want to learn how to access and work within the machine of life and understand phrases a bit more objectively like universal timing, then we must align our habits, our concentration, our focus, and our actions with the most accurate representation of reality, which means living, breathing, and embodying the present moment. So the present moment, like we said, lasts forever. It's eternal, it's infinite, it's still now. But even though we know that, our awareness, our attention, and our thoughts are very rarely observing it. We dwell a lot in the past and we wait for things to happen later. But we know you can't go backwards and the future will never arrive. It's still now. So here are three tricks you can use to rewire yourself to operate in the now and see what possibilities and opportunities open up. So the first thing is to use physicalness language to describe exactly what actions are taking place and what you see right now. So it sounds silly, but I spend 10 minutes a day, typically during my morning routine, describing exactly what's going on. So I'll wake up and instead of thinking, okay, this is all the stuff I need to do today, this is what I need to do at work, thinking about my to-do list, I start describing exactly what I'm doing. I'm getting out of bed. I'm opening my dresser. I'm putting on my shirt. I'm putting on my socks. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm putting toothpaste on the toothbrush. I'm putting the toothbrush in my mouth. I am brushing my teeth. Um, but become keenly aware of the now. The second thing that you need to do is get rid of later or the future or tomorrow in your vocabulary. If you don't want to do something right now, that's okay. And we discussed using clock time as a tool. So, how do we use time as a tool? Well, clock time says instead of later, let's give it a number, an hour, a description, 4 p.m., at 10 p.m., or when I wake up, or before I go to bed. After you categorize something with a clock time, go back to making intentional choices in the present. You don't need to be busy all the time. Remember that. You don't need to be productive all the time. You don't need to do things that make you feel like you're checking off a bunch of stuff all the time. But in the moment of now, just be intentional, which means intentional relaxing. I like to watch Netflix at night. I like to go on a walk and not do anything. I like to put down my phone, or I like to just be lazy. But at least I know I'm being intentional with the choice that I'm making right now. And while you do this, remember to keep your awareness in the now. You're going to start thinking about a lot of the stuff that you said you were going to do at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Set it and forget it and come back to the now. The more you do this, the more you'll realize what actions might open up for you in the present moment. So, for example, with me, this made a huge difference this year, where I've been obsessed. My mantra has been becoming obsessed with action. But action can only take place in the now moment, right? So, the more I told myself, okay, become obsessed with action right now, there were so many things that I had planned for later, or I had planned for in a sequential order of my life plan that I said, well, I'm not going to get upset with myself if I don't do it right now, but maybe I could do something right now that I just passively thought would just happen later. So many things have opened up for me, and frankly, the past 2 months, I've been more productive than I probably ever have in my entire life. The last one, this is number three. The last one is a bit tricky. It involves a lot of concentration and focus. But it's the most powerful. So it's similar to one and two in that you're describing the present moment and you're taking intentional actions. But it's actually less describing and decision making and more observing and choice making. So we'll discuss the difference between decision making and choice making in another workshop. But high level, what that really means is try watching or observing with minimal thoughts the present moment, but really focus on watching and focusing on and concentrating on your body and its movements. So once you get good at describing your present moment and taking intentional actions, replace your thoughts with observation of yourself. So, for example, when you brush your teeth or go to work, focus intently in the mirror on how your hand's moving. Or when you're going to work, look down at your legs and see how they're operating. you'll be shocked to see how much your body continues to operate subconsciously, or we call maybe muscle memory, when your mind is wandering. So you've ever like driven a car and you start daydreaming, you forgot the entire drive, but you're home totally safe. That's because your body in the present moment is constantly operating and doing things in accordance to how it knows to work. And your real thoughts are somewhere else, but your body is still operating in physicalness. So when I was typing out the script for this video, I knew what I wanted to type, but then I focused on my fingers and just kind of watched it do its thing. And so those are little things when you're in a flow state or you're taking some sort of action, stop thinking and just watch yourself do it. I promise you know how to probably get to work. If you weren't thinking about it, you probably walk to work or get on the subway and your thoughts are somewhere else. Next time, go to work, get on the subway, do your thing, but just watch how your body knows exactly how to get there. Awesome. Okay, so those are the three ways to really practice embracing the present moment. Quick recap. Number one, use physicalness, descriptive language to say verbally out loud what you are doing and what you are seeing in the now moment. Sounds silly, but it's really powerful. Use clock time, so hours and numbers, and get rid of generic language like later or the future or tomorrow or something like that. Once it's categorized with a clock time, 4 p.m., 10 p.m., 10 a.m., get back to focusing on the now. Put your awareness and your attention and your intention in the now. Once you kind of get in the groove of doing that, maybe every morning or a couple minutes a day, start focusing on observing your body and getting comfortable with turning off your mind and watching yourself operate in the now moment. Again, there's a lot of things that you don't need to think about, like how to get to work. Watch yourself kind of get there without you constantly thinking about things. If you do these three things, you'll become extremely present. And like we discussed, that is a quality many successful individuals across all backgrounds have talked about. Politicians, business leaders, artists, spiritual leaders. We talked about the Charisma book, the Charisma Coach. Everything has been rooted in becoming present because the present moment is the only thing that actually exists in physicalness. If we want to understand the machine of life and how to operate within it and align ourselves with the most accurate representation of reality, it starts by becoming very present. Awesome. So excited to talk to some of y'all next workshop to see what opens up, see what becoming more present might have done for you. DM in the Discord or hit me up if you got any questions. Wishing you all the best. Please try it. It's really fun. It's really interesting. It's a little trippy. We'll catch you next time. Enjoy.